The notification tone of my phone broke the morning silence. I picked it up, still half asleep, expecting a good morning text from my son. Instead, what I saw made my heart stop. A post written by my daughter-in-law, Emily, mocking me publicly for the world to see. She had written, "Some people act like saints for giving you something, but then use it to control you forever. Maybe retirement homes exist for a reason." And just below that, she had attached a photo of my old armchair, the one I had given them when I handed over my family home. The comments were even worse. People laughed. Some said, "Classic mother-in-law behavior." Others called me needy and overbearing. I just sat there, staring at the screen, my hands trembling. I could feel the heat rise to my face, not from anger at first, but from shame. I had loved her like my own daughter. I had trusted her with the home where I raised my family, and this was how she thanked me, by humiliating me for likes and laughs. My name is Margaret. I'm 63 years old, and for most of my life, I believed that love and generosity could fix anything. After my husband passed away, I sold my business and downsized. I wanted to enjoy the peace that comes after years of hard work. My son, Daniel, had just married Emily, a bright, charming young woman who won my heart from the beginning. They were starting a new life together, struggling with bills, rent, and student loans. So, I did what any mother who loves her child would do. I gave them my house. The house where I raised Daniel. The house where his father built our first garden. I told them it was theirs to live in, free of charge. All I wanted was for them to build their memories there, just like we did. For the first year, everything seemed fine. Emily called me Mom, hugged me whenever I visited, and baked me cookies every Sunday. But slowly, things began to change. The tone shifted. The smiles became tighter. The calls became less frequent. She started to sigh whenever I offered advice. She'd say things like, "Don't worry, Margaret, I know how to handle it," in that condescending way that sliced deeper than any insult. I tried to ignore it. I told myself she was young, stressed, maybe insecure, but her mockery grew bolder, subtle jabs at family dinners, sarcastic jokes in front of guests. Still, I stayed silent, because I loved my son. That Facebook post, though, that was the last straw. I didn't call her. I didn't comment. I didn't even tell Daniel right away. I just sat there, heartbroken, wondering when kindness had turned into weakness. Later that evening, Daniel came over. He noticed my silence and asked, "Mom, what's wrong?" I showed him the post. He sighed. "Oh, come on, Mom. You know how Emily is. She was just joking." I blinked at him. A joke? Public humiliation is a joke now. He looked uncomfortable. "She didn't mean it like that. You're taking it too seriously." I stared at my son, my sweet boy, now a man, and realized something painful. He wasn't defending her because he believed she was right. He was defending her because he was afraid to upset her. I smiled quietly and said, "You're right, Daniel. Maybe I am taking it too seriously." But deep down, I knew something had changed forever. That night, I sat by my window, looking at the house across the street. My house, glowing softly in the evening light. I could see them through the window, laughing, watching TV, living their perfect little life in the home I gave them. And something inside me broke. For years, I'd been giving time, love, patience, and receiving disrespect in return. It was time to take something back. The next morning, I called my lawyer. He was surprised when I asked him to check the property documents. "Margaret," he said, "the house is still under your name. You transferred residency, not ownership. It's legally yours." That was all I needed to hear. 2 weeks later, the house was listed for sale. I found a sweet older couple, John and Diane, who had been looking for a forever home. When they saw the garden, Diane teared up. "This feels like home," she said. That moment told me I was doing the right thing. When Daniel and Emily found out, all hell broke loose. Daniel stormed into my house, his face red. "Mom, you sold the house, without even telling us." I looked up from my cup of tea and nodded calmly. "Yes, Daniel. I did." Emily followed behind him, shouting, "You can't do this! We live there!" I turned to her and said, "No, Emily. You stayed there. Because I allowed it." She looked at me like I had slapped her. "You're petty and vindictive." All this because of one little post. I stood up, my voice steady. Not because of a post. Because of the disrespect behind it. You mocked the hand that built the home you live in. You insulted the woman who gave you everything. Actions have consequences. Daniel was quiet now, guilt flickering in his eyes. Emily grabbed his arm and hissed, "Let's go." And they did. Weeks later, the moving truck pulled away. The "for sale" sign came down. The new couple moved in, planting daisies by the fence, the same kind I used to grow. For the first time in years, I felt light, not angry, not bitter, just free. A month later, Daniel came to visit me, alone. He looked tired, older somehow. He sat down and said quietly, "Mom, I'm sorry. I should have stood up for you." The tears welled up in my eyes, but I didn't let them fall. "I'm just glad you came," I whispered. He hugged me. A long, quiet hug that said everything words couldn't. That night, I looked at my phone one last time. A message blinked on the screen. From Emily. "You ruined our lives." I smiled sadly and typed back, "No, Emily. You ruined the respect that built them." Then I deleted her message and turned off my phone. I walked outside into my garden. Smaller than my old one, but peaceful. The air smelled of jasmine and rain. I realized that sometimes peace isn't about keeping everyone happy. It's about protecting your heart from those who mistake your kindness for weakness. And that night, as the stars glowed above me, I finally felt at peace. Not because I got revenge, but because I reclaimed my dignity. A message: never let anyone mock your kindness. When you give selflessly and are met with cruelty, walk away with your head high. Respect is not something you beg for. It's something you demand by living with integrity.